Hold on, just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Monday. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. It's been a crazy one for me. It's been a crazy couple days, but I'm very happy to be here with you guys to talk about all the craziness that's been going on, all the things that I missed that I wasn't able to talk about over the past couple days. It's just been busy, y'all. I have to be completely straight funky with you guys. It has been a very, very busy time in my neck of the woods, in my life lately. So I haven't been able to do as many shows last week as I usually do. You know, it's the holiday season. It's holiday time. Me and the fam do a lot of holiday-centric stuff, and it's a busy time. Long story short, it's a very, very busy time. Okay, so hopefully you guys understand that. I appreciate you guys being so understanding and being so appreciative. But like I said, it's holiday time, it's family time, and even this week is going to be a little scattered, if you will, because it's going to be I'm busy with family stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like everyone else should be. If you celebrate the holidays, of course, everyone should be doing the same, spending time with your family. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're not sharing your cup of Joe with me every morning or the last few days. I've been gone, but of course it's been because I've been busy with family, spending time with the people that I love, and that's important too. So I recommend that to all y'all as well. All right. So before we get things cracking, before we get things started, it feels good to be back, y'all. It feels good to be back. I'll say this too. This week is going to be very sporadic. Like I said, I got a couple shows this week for you guys, some stories to talk to you guys about. I'm sure there's going to be some discussions we're going to be doing. I also have a private investigator, that's involved with the Kendrick Johnson murder case. I will be having him on the show live tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So like I said, there's going to be got a bunch of stuff at the top of the week, but near the end of the week, we're going to be doing very, very little during the end of the week because it's holiday time, right? I still got to go and do some Christmas shopping. I got some things to do for my fam and all that stuff. So I'm a little busy. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to be a little bit busy, and hopefully you guys understand. But before we get things started, because there's a lot to talk about, especially this story about this hashtag that's going viral now called hashtag no trucks to Colorado. We got to talk about that. That is a huge story. Big, big story. But before we get things going, please do me the favor as all you guys start to file in and getting your cup of coffee and getting your stuff ready, getting your life together. Hit that like button down below. Do not forget to do that. And of course, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button, destroy it, crush it, the whole 9, okay? And also, my brother David is in the house. What's up, man? It's been 2 weeks since I seen this ginger beard. What's going on, my brother?
Man, not much. I've been busy with work and stuff, but it's good to be back here. It's been a busy week for me as well. I know you were talking about the tornadoes a lot last week, and that's ended up hitting my sister's school where she teaches and ripped the roof off. So her school's not even able to have class for a few months now, and all the inside stuff was destroyed. Thankfully, no one was there because it was at night. But yeah, it was pretty rough for them. But other than that, I've just been focusing on my own work for now, and it's good to be back, though.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad you're doing well, and I'm glad that your family's okay as well. Real talk. Because, I mean, I can only imagine what your family's going through right now, especially your sister. Thank God those kids weren't in class when this tornado hit. Real talk, that is, I mean, yeah, that's mind-blowing. And that's some serious luck. And your family's okay, though, right?
Yeah, their house wasn't that badly damaged, but So, I mean, the school was pretty much trash, though. They don't even have the laptops for distant learning right now, so they're just not going to school at all until they
Oh
can figure something out.
man, see, this is when GoFundMe's and fundraisers and all that come in handy right now, right?
Mhm.
So hopefully they get something figured out. I really do hope so. And I see that your internet is being a little sketchy, but hopefully it'll be everything will smooth out here very shortly. But anyway, guys, we got to go into these stories, y'all. And like I said, glad to have you back, David. Glad to have you back. Hit that like button if you missed David's face. Definitely hit that like button down below. He's been busy with a gang of different things. And I'm really happy your family's okay. Real talk, because a lot of people are. I mean, it touched people in my life as well. This tornado. So, or those tornadoes, because obviously it wasn't just one. But I'm glad that everybody in your family, in your neck of the woods, the people that you're connected with are okay. And of course, as we say all the time, thoughts, prayers, love, good energy to all the survivors and the families of the victims from that devastating tornadoes that happened last week. But we got to get into this story, guys. Now, this is a very interesting one. All right. There was a young trucker by the name of Rahel Aguilera-Mederos. All right. He was manning a truck. He was driving a truck, and the brakes went out on his truck, which caused him to barrel his truck into basically a gang of cars, taking the lives of 4 people. Now, this man was recently sentenced to 110 years for this accident. We have some video I want to show you guys. Like I said, it's just so this is just a wild story. This whole thing is just absolutely crazy. Man loses control of truck, I'm sorry, and 18-wheeler, not just a little, not like a F-150, 18-wheeler, and kills 4, sentenced to 110 years. But here's something from the very, very beginning, just the trial itself. Let's take a listen.
We begin in Jefferson County tonight. A truck driver going on trial today for a horrific crash that killed 4 people. He is charged with vehicular homicide. That semi was hauling lumber back in April of 2019, hurtling eastbound on I-70 down the hill into Golden. But the out-of-control rig slammed into bumper-to-bumper traffic. This was the result, sparking an inferno that destroyed or damaged more than 24 vehicles.
Now, real quick, before we continue on, and I appreciate this reporter for giving us this a little bit of what happened in 2019, but still, how did he survive this? How does anyone survive this? You see what I'm saying? That's one detail I'm still trying to figure out, because he still has all of his limbs. He's not scarred. He doesn't have one scratch on his body from what I've seen. Did he just jump out of the truck before the collision? I'm still wondering what the hell happened, right? Because looking at this, I don't think I would not think that the truck driver would survive this at all. This man's still alive.
CBS 4 investigator Rick Salinger was on the scene of that nasty wreck 2.5 years ago. And Rick, day 1 of the truck driver's trial just wrapped up.
Day 1 of what is expected to be, Jim, a 3-week trial. A trial long delayed by COVID and a change of defense attorneys. Now they're bringing back memories of that horrible day. It was a scene of horror and death. The question for the jury, could this have been avoided? Now 25-year-old Rahel Aguilera-Mederos, the truck driver, is on trial on charges including vehicular homicide and assault. The prosecution began.
4 lives in our community were lost because of what this case boils down to: bad decisions.
There was no dispute he lost his brakes, but those bad decisions, the prosecution claimed, were on display in videos made before the crash. They said he weaved, past a runaway truck ramp and other places to pull off. But the attorney for Mederos argued his client was a victim of mechanical brake failure.
He was a passenger in a vehicle he could not control.
The truck passed signs for a runaway truck ramp, the ramp itself, and did not pull off where possible before the crash, according to the prosecution.
Now, let me say this too, real quick. Imagine, right? Imagine you got I don't know how many tons this truck is, right? But he's got lumber in the back of this truck. You're driving a huge rig, and suddenly you lose your brakes. You're going down these steep hills, and I'm telling you, y'all, we've all done. I'm assuming all of us have done some sort of cross road trip type of thing, right? And you're sitting there, you're going through this, you're going down these steep hills. Like, man, I remember I was driving I drove to Atlanta, right? And driving to Atlanta is no joke. There's one part of the trip where you're going through, like, basically you're doing some serious deep steep hills. And some people are crazy enough to just go like 90, 100 miles an hour down the thing. But all of us are riding the conscious, regular, safe drivers out here are riding their brakes all the way down those really, really steep hills, right? So imagine you're doing that with just a little car. Imagine that with a full-on 18-wheeler rig, right? That's a lot of breakage, right? So suddenly that truck loses its braking ability. Now, yes, this guy could have veered off. God knows what would have happened, because you have those off ramps, right? If you lose your brakes, you could take that off ramp. But there's only so much you can use. There's only so much. Obviously, it would have been a different situation. It probably would have been one casualty instead of four. But it's interesting. You got this thing that's just like it's basically a WMD at that point, and you got this thing barreling down these steep hills, crashing into a traffic jam. Like, imagine that. That's just insane, right? Mm-hmm. But 110 years. 110 years, does he deserve that? I don't know. But David, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. So I actually this is the road you have to drive to get to my house. So basically what happened was it was just west of Lakewood, which is pretty much the westernmost city in Denver as far as the main city goes. And he was on his way to Golden, which means he had already started entering the mountains. Golden is actually a place where you get gold. It's a gold. They have a gold mine there. You can pan whatever they call it for gold and everything. So he's already into the mountains at this point. And I know that runaway ramp they're talking about. It is a long one. It's one of the vertical ramps that goes up into a bunch of barrels with water and sand.
Yeah.
But you still see accidents on this road all the time. So from what I understand, well, let me preclude this with a few things. So what most people might not realize if you don't drive through the mountains a lot is that hot brakes are an issue, even with a car. Once you get specifically on this road that he's actually on, about another 100 miles, you get to a place called Vale. And the whole time you're going down, you have to actually, if you're in a semi, stop about 4 or 5 times before you get to the bottom, because the police have to check your tires and make sure they're not getting too hot, and make sure your brakes aren't getting too hot, because they give out all the time. And in fact, even in a sedan, I had to stop for about a half hour because my brakes were getting too hot and the police wouldn't let me drive on anymore, because stuff like this happens. Obviously, semis have a lot more heat and a lot more pressure on those brakes, and so they give out a lot more. And that seems to be what happened here. So he's going downhill. He's actually going down a mountain, and he's using his brakes, and allegedly they were poorly maintained by the people he works for, and that's when they gave out. And he's a fairly new driver. He's 23. And basically, from what I understand, when he goes past this ramp, the reason he goes past it is because he's basically panicking and terrified because he just lost control of his vehicle and he didn't know what to do. It's the first time it's happened to him, and he's not very experienced yet. He's still a new driver. And that's why he missed that one runoff ramp. And that was pretty much his only chance. to get off, really, without killing people. And the next two places he passes are actually off ramps, but they're filled with vehicles, so he can't go that way without causing an accident as well. So basically, he missed his only chance to get off because he was afraid. And obviously, as he points out himself, he did not intentionally hurt anyone. He's not a criminal. He didn't mean to hurt these people. He was afraid, and he made a mistake not hitting that ramp when he had the small opportunity to do so because he was panicking.
Right.
And then that's when these accidents happened.
I mean,
And you can compare it to, 'cause I've seen this one get compared a lot to an incident about a year ago as well, where a woman intentionally drove past a school bus with a stop sign and killed 4 children, and only got a couple years in prison. And they're comparing it to this case where he did not intentionally cause these accidents, and he gets 110 years.
yeah, I mean, it's an accident, but still, like, and I understand he's young. He's still wet behind the ears, not fully experienced with certain things like this. He sees this, he's pressing his brakes. It's not the truck, sorry, is not stopping. So he's freaking the F out. So I'm sure with him freaking out, he might have been thinking, he might not even had seen that ramp. You never know. Because he might have been like this, like looking down going, why is it not working? Probably radioing people in, whatever. You never know, right? Or he might have been thinking, well, wait a second. It looks like it's about to even out. Maybe I'll be able to slow this thing down once it gets down to the bottom of this hill. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not, obviously I'm just making up, possibilities of what he was thinking in his head, right? But still, how did he survive this, though? Look at this. Look at the wreckage. How did he survive that? Did he just go F it and jump? He jumped ship. He had to have. He had to have jumped out of that truck once it got to a safe area. He probably just said F and I'm done. And he just jumped out. There's no way the person who was manning that truck would survive that crash. There's no way. He had to have jumped out of the truck. He had to have. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that was a bad choice. I'm not saying that was a good choice. But how did he survive this ish? He's not even a burn victim. He's walking. You saw it right here. I'll show it to y'all again. Where is it? There it is. He's walking just fine. He's walking just fine in his velvet bronze blazer. I mean, come on, he's fine. No limbs gone. He ain't limping. So how did he survive that? You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't survive. I'm glad he's okay, but still 4 people lost their lives. 4 innocent lives were taken because of his bad choices, because of his bad judgment, bad choices. But I still do think 110 years is a lot, and we're going to hear it right here. Let's take a listen.
110 years in prison. That's the sentence for a semi-truck driver who crashed into traffic that was backed up on I-70, ultimately killing 4 people. We've been covering this case for you since the moment news of the crash first broke. That was in April of 2019, and we were there in the courtroom today as family and friends of those involved testified about the impact on their lives. CBS 4's Karen Morford covering Colorado First for us tonight in Jefferson County. Karen, this was an emotional day, of course, for everybody.
Yeah, really, Karen, the emotion, the pain is there on both sides. That was evident from the stories that were shared from families who lost loved ones, as well as from the defendant himself as he testified or shared his impact as well to the judge saying to him that he's not angry with him, but that this is the sentence required by law.
4 people died when an out-of-control semi crashed into stopped traffic on I-70.
I'm sorry. I'm just reacting. I sorry, it's a little delayed, but the judge is saying that this is a sentence required. What? Required by law? What? How's that even? What? That's some. I'm not with it. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes. He should be sentenced to something. Of course, he's found guilty of doing this thing. He drove this truck. There were some opportunities for him to avoid killing other people. That's why those other ramps are there. That's why those ramps are created, so that if they lose control or their brakes go out, they can veer off. He made those mistakes. He should pay for the crimes that he committed. But 110 years is a justifiable offense, a justifiable sentence?
I haven't verified this myself, but allegedly his sentence is because of mandatory sentencing due to specifics of his crime. Like I said, I haven't verified them, but that's what the judge was arguing, basically, that these were minimum sentences of some kind and that he had to go through them. Like I said, I haven't looked into them myself, but that is what the court is saying.
No, I'm not. I ain't with it. We're going to continue. He just said that's a justifiable sentencing. He's not a serial killer. He didn't kill a whole bunch of people. Like, you know what I mean? He didn't. You see what I'm saying? This isn't a T-word attack. You feel me? What? That is another question. Was there any drugs in his system? Was he heavily intoxicated?
From what I've read, that hasn't been brought up in the court at all, so I would assume not. And I would assume not even the prosecutor, has brought it up as far as I'm aware, so I don't think there's any reason to believe that.
So then why 110 years then? But hold on. We're going to continue.
As a judge prepared to sentence the man responsible, family of those who were killed spoke out about their loss.
Sometimes it feels like being half a person.
The pain.
My mother's life has been turned upside down.
And their anger.
He was taken away from me in an instant by the actions of a selfish person.
Roel Aguilera-Mederos didn't take a runaway ramp after losing the brakes on his truck, a decision that led a jury to convict him of more than 20 counts.
It's hard. I asked to God too many times, why and then? And not me.
While family members called for some prison time, they also spoke of forgiveness.
I know they did not intend for this to happen, but because of their actions, it did happen.
The judge says he acknowledges that Aguilera-Mederos didn't intend to harm anyone, but under guidelines set by the law, his sentence could be no less than 110 years.
If I had the discretion, it would not be my sentence.
An emotional day in court again. Attorneys for the defendant argue that there is case law that would apply in this case specifically that would allow for a minimum of 20 years. The judge says that this just might be one of those cases that they have to review.
Yeah. Because okay, let me take this down because I see a bunch of comments in here and I wanna show the comments and chop it up with you guys and all that. Now the thing is somebody just said something, and I'm trying to find it really, really quick. Here it is. Dawn Twister Lynn said, no drugs, no alcohol, just truck out of control. And yet he's still seeing 110 years. 110 years. Yes, I get it. Bad choices. Maybe not fully properly trained, or because of his panic, because of his fear, the training went right out the window, right? But clearly to me, this is somebody who is a novice, who is extremely young, who, worst case scenario, happened to him. He didn't know what to do, and he freaked the hell out. But does that automatically mean 110 years behind bars? Like literally life, a life sentence. Shoot, that's too life. I don't know how, you know what I mean? That's a lot, okay? That's life in prison, y'all. Like, is that? Oh, Latif is saying something else too. He says you don't get. Yeah. You don't get brake failure training. Interesting. And if that's true, then this is on any company that trained him, the company that was involved with putting together that truck and not properly checking to make sure that those brakes were taken care of. There's more to this than just on Rohel. Rohel doesn't deserve 110 years. I think we all agree on that, right? I think we all agree on that. Yes, he is found guilty because he's the one behind the truck. Yes, he made some bad choices, but no, 110. Man, that's excessive as hell, David.
Yeah.
That's excessive as hell. Is it
From
because
what
he's a person of color too? I'm sorry, I went there. I'm going there. Is it also because of that? I understand the family's angry. Families are upset. They lost their loved ones, as they should be. They have every right to be pissed off. Every right. But why is he getting thrown under the bus with 110 years?
Well, I do agree that the whatever the minimum is that's causing this is stupid. Obviously, he should not be in there for 110 years. There should be something because arguably he could have handled it better. But at the same time, yeah, I looked into him a little bit. He was driving primarily in Texas, which is, as far as I know, doesn't have any runway ramps. It's a very flat area if you've ever been to Texas. So likely he has no experience. Truck drivers are saying you don't get trained in this, assuming they're accurate, which there seems to be a consensus that you don't get trained in this. He wouldn't have had training or experience in this area. Obviously, there are a lot of factors here. And I mean, I've had friends come up here. I live, okay, so one thing when you go through this pass, you are going up a total of about 6,000 feet, maybe down another 8,000 before you level out again. So it's like a huge change. Even I've had friends come out here from like back in Cincinnati or anything like that, and they can't really drive these roads. It's just too much for them. So I imagine it's similar for a truck driver. So, I mean, if there's no training in this, there obviously needs to be, because those runway ramps are the only way to stop incidences like this. Every time I've gone down that road, it's about a total of 2.5 to 3 hours to get through the whole mountains. I've always seen some sort of semi have an accident, and sometimes you do see the runaway ramps being used, but a lot of times they do, unfortunately, not have the opportunity to get there. A lot of these turns are very sharp, and depending on when your brakes go out, they might not even have the opportunity. Some people are arguing is the brakes went out right after the ramp. I don't really know, but either way, he himself just chalks it up to fear and accident and the company not having a properly maintained vehicles. Some have argued, and I don't know a truck driver's duties, that he should have been checking on the brakes himself. Maybe that's his job. I don't really know. But ultimately, I still just think this is an accident. It's a really bad accident, and there is a lot of places where this could have helped been prevented. But it was still an accident, and it does not require 110 years, especially when we compare this to incidences where people intentionally endanger others, cause more fatalities or just as many, and get relatively minimal sentences of less than a decade or something. Just like that woman I mentioned that intentionally drove past a school bus and killed 4 children. She only got a few years. That doesn't really add up. And I know, I guess, that this is part of a mandatory sentencing, but that means that they need to address the sentencing and try to find a new way to balance these laws out, because obviously that is not balanced.
No. This is not a balanced situation at all. Like, there's so many different pieces here. There's so many different factors. And I'm sure the families are going to be suing the trucking company and the whatever else, what other entities and businesses that are involved with taking care of the safety of every single 18-wheeler. 18-wheelers scare the hell out of me. I'm sorry. When I'm doing like cross-country trips and stuff, because I like road trips. I really do enjoy them a lot. Not so much after the Petito thing, but I do enjoy the freedom, right? And the control of actually driving my own ride, right? But the one thing I don't like is when you see, especially at night, I hate it more than anything in the world, driving and having to deal with truckers that are, I wouldn't say driving, within the lane, they're not staying in their lanes. You know, sometimes truckers get a little shaky, right? And I'm not sitting here saying that all of them are doing this, right? But you know, there's always that scare of like, what if he just loses control, or what if he just, you know, and yeah, the Pioneer. Some of them can be some can be very aggressive, right? It's more offensive driving instead of defensive driving, right? From what I've experienced, there's always that nerve, you know, that scare. Is he going to see me? He or she might not see me, you know, while I'm on the side. You know, I've seen right there in front of me, man. I was driving from away from Indiana, right? And it was I was right behind another car, and there was a semi on right next to the car, right? In the lane next to us. All of a sudden, the semi just merges over to the far left lane, right into the car in front of me. This car loses its control because they almost hit, but then because that driver freaked out, the car swerves, hits the semi, and just goes off the shoulder, right? And then, of course, they both have to pull over. But this thing happened right in front of me as I'm driving, because I'm like sitting there going, oh, man, I don't know if that trucker's seeing. I don't think that trucker's seeing that car. And then it happened right in front of me. Those are the things, like, it's fearful. It's terrifying to me, those kind of big-ass rigs. There's so much responsibility that you have being in control of something like that. It's a huge, huge responsibility. So the thing when it happens to this is like, man, that is so insane. Absolutely so insane to see something like that. But then imagine you're just sitting there chilling in a traffic stop, like in a traffic jam, and you just see this thing barreling down the road, going 80. Shoot, 30 miles an hour would be devastating if a rig was going 30 miles an hour. Real talk. I got a super chat, but go ahead. Go ahead, David.
I was going to say that Mr. Super said that for a CDL license to drive these trucks, you do need brake training. And I just checked that, and you do need to pass air brake exam to get your CDL license. So there should have been some brake training at least.
Some, but then you got to remember, how often is that actually happening to a trucker, right? When they're operating a big rig, how often do their brakes really go out, right? So then say you get trained, but then it never happens to you. The next thing you know, oh my God, it's out. Holy crap, right? Then all of a sudden training goes out the window because you're freaking the hell out. You're trying to find ways to get off, maybe, you know, or you're radioing in, being like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like anxiety, nerves, the heightened situation can cause people to freak the F out. Real talk. And suddenly, like somebody who, let's be real, there have been plenty of people who are, let's say, strong swimmers, right? But say something happens to them in the water and they freak out and suddenly they forget how to tread water. It happens all the time, right? It does. Suddenly you're training, suddenly the thing that you know so well, because you're freaking out so much about, oh my God, I'm in this situation, that you're not thinking about, wait, calm down. Remember your training. It's like Yoda, right? Remember your training. Remember what you've learned. You're not going to drown. Just do this. You see what I'm saying? Instead, everyone's doing this, and then they drown. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like with this, sure, he's been trained, but then he gets thrown into the ish, right? And he freaks the hell out. Training goes right out the window. Now he's going, my life, oh my God, my life, other people's lives, oh my God, what am I going to do? Still to this day, I'm still wondering how he got out of that crash alive. Still to this day, I will sit here scratching my head until I actually hear the actual truth, right? but I don't think he was thinking because he's young. Sure, he had the training, but how often are they actually practicing that? So it's just his body is doing it by rote, whatever the hell he needs to do that training, right? Something to think about. We got a super chat. Mrs. Will I Am's $20 super chat. Thank you so much. And all the other super chats, I did show them up on the screen, but I do appreciate the other super chats as well. From a trucking company owner perspective, he is not fine. My husband and I discussed how he was trained once he retired from the military during the C word, obviously. Went to truck driving school. Trainers never told him about runoff. Interesting. Now, this is her husband's perspective. This is her husband's training. So maybe there's training, but they never talk about the runoffs. Or there's training, and some companies that do train these truckers talk about the runoffs, and some others don't. You never know. Just saying. There could be so many different, and thank you again for the $20 super chat and for that insight. You never know. Some people will sit there and teach you how to do certain things, like, you know what I mean? Certain extra things. And then some others will just be like, this is how it's done. This is what you do. This is by the book. Right? Shoot, man. I remember like, maybe, I don't know if they do this in driving school anymore, but when I did driving school, they said, hey, if your blinkers ever go out, learn how to do hand signals. I'm not kidding. They taught us that. Do they do that anymore? Probably not. You see what I'm saying? That might be a little old school, right? But they used to do that. They used to be like, hey, here are the hand signals. So for left and right, just in case your signals go out. I'm just saying. So you never know.
That's pretty common.
East Side training schools might teach one way. West Side schools might teach a completely different way. And they might not even talk about the ramps. You see what I'm saying? Or they may not even focus on the braking, like if the brakes fail training segment of it. You see what I'm saying? It's very interesting though, right?
Sure.
It's very strange. So, moving on from this, because we're still on this subject, obviously, but there is something that's really big that's going on right now. And we're going to look at that right now. It's an article here still covering this situation because obviously the country has heard about this 110-year sentencing, and there's a lot of people, especially truckers, that are feeling some type of way. Hence the reason the hashtag No Trucks to Colorado is trending so hard right now. It's because of this. Long line truckers boycott Colorado over the state's 110-year sentence for driver who caused fatal accident. Petition to grant clemency attracts 4 million signatures. 4 million signatures, y'all. So there's obviously a petition to grant clemency to the driver of an 18-wheeler jailed for 110 years in prison for killing 4 people, has garnered 4 million signatures on change.org. According to TikTok videos, fellow drivers are now refusing to enter the state as a way to denounce the sentence they deemed harsh and unfair. And I agree. It's harsh and unfair, y'all. It's totally, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Yes, I do believe he was found guilty and he should be found guilty. But his sentence is way too harsh, way too much. So Rohel Aguilera-Mederos, 26, so he's a young kid, man, was sentenced to 110 consecutive years in prison for a fiery crash in 2019 that killed 4 people. He was driving a semi-truck, at 85 miles per hour down the I-70 in Lakewood, Colorado on April 25th, 2019, where he crashed into 24 vehicles stuck in a car in a rush hour traffic. And what's interesting is no one else, I mean, thank God no one else died, but he crashed into 24 trucks or 24 vehicles. And he's, man, dude was, people still survived. And you saw that fiery crash. That's insane. Like I said, how did he survive this is still beyond me. The fact that he walked out unscathed is still beyond me, y'all. But obviously, they have signed a petition and they're basically boycotting driving into the state of Colorado. Hashtag no trucks to Colorado is trending hard out here in these streets. Crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, DMV Nation. CDL training is federally regulated. It's the same training across the nation for Class A CDLs. Interesting. Air brakes is a major component of a truck that requires training and passing a knowledge test. Very interesting. And DMV Nation, thank you so much for that information and for the $10 super chat. But booyah, booyakasha. Booyaka, booyaka. There it is. So you have to pass that piece because I would think like that's the most important part. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like a pilot, right? Not learning how to land. Like it's an important part. You see what I'm saying? That's an important part of the damn thing. You telling me you still got your pilot license and you don't know how to land this plane? You see what I'm saying? Like me and that pilot would be having words. I'm serious. I'll be pulling out that Google.
It's the reason you have to have like 100 landings before you can perform one by yourself.
Thank you. So it's like, in a way, it's like he forgot. That's insane. It's insane that he forgot. Yes. But at the same time, it's like, still 110 years though. 110? Damn. So yes, DMV Nation, thank you so much for that information, man. That is so important. Like I said, yes, it would be insane for him to go and do his thing and not, you know what I'm saying? But I get it. Nerves happen. I'm not trying to justify the deaths. All of it was unjustified, right? The loss of those lives, terrible. My heart goes out to every single last person that lost someone that they loved, right? Give them a different sentence, though, because 110 years is too much. So it's 4 point. Wow. So it's at 4.2 million signatures right now because everyone agrees, yes, dude deserves to get sentenced, right? 110, man, bruh. That's so crazy, though, because everybody else is seeing it. So we're not all crazy. So I'm not crazy. Thank you, Jesus. I'm not crazy for thinking, yo, this is too much. 4.2 so far. 4.2 million people also agree that, hey, this is a little excessive.
And I just posted in chat. This is from the Denver Post. It's the change. It's the petition that they posted in the Denver Post, basically. The petition to basically get the governor, Jared Polis, to look at this and try to fix it, basically.
I hope so. Because right now, I'm going to show you guys a video here in a second. But it says under here, TikTok videos show what dozens of trucks are doing right now, which is lining up on the side of the road and blocking highways with drivers refusing to enter Colorado. That's so crazy.
And
so let me show you guys. Go ahead, David.
And I was going to say, I do think there's a good chance Jarrett Polis will come out on the side of the driver in this case. He tends to be more liberal, and he does have a focus on, I would say, I guess, like workers, or at least he talks about it a lot, and specifically in things like this. So I think there is a good chance that the governor will intervene in this case. This is kind of the thing he's, I guess, controversial for, really, because there's a lot of conservative areas in the state too.
Well, let's take a look at this really quick. This is just showing what these are all truckers just lining up on the side of the interstate, refusing to enter the state. I mean, wow. Wow. Let's take a look.
Shut down city.
Bruh. Whoa. Do you see how far back that goes? Look at how far back that goes.
Truckers are refusing to enter into Colorado due to the harsh season.
Look at that, bruh. I'm going to say this. I feel bad for anybody who's waiting on some Christmas gifts. Holiday gifts might be delayed this year if this continues. Whoops. I did not mean to do that. Dag nabbit. Hold on, guys. Where the heck did it go? No.
We got another super chat from Will I Am.
Yeah, I'm going to get it in a second. I'm just trying to show this video, and I'll get to it. Promise I will get to it. But yeah.
$5 a mile to go to Colorado. You know what I told him? No trucks to Colorado. You know what I told him? I said, bing bong, suck my balls. No to Colorado. No trucks.
Bing bong. I'm sorry.
Let's show the whole country what us truckers can do, and we stand together. We stand with you, brother.
No más viajes a Colorado. No, Colorado. Vamos con Roger. Puerto Rico presente. Y México. Y 4 parejas.
That's crazy, y'all. We get the gist of it. Bing bong. Have you guys seen that TikTok? Maybe you haven't, but if you have, it'll never leave your brain. I swear to God. But yeah, there you have it, guys. I mean, there's a full-on boycott going on. They're sitting there saying no trucks are going through Colorado. That's so insane. So like I said, any person that's waiting on some gifts, or waiting on some produce, waiting on any type of goods right now in Colorado or anywhere else in the country, maybe. Oh boy, this is gonna be some trouble.
It is the main road between the east and the west as well. So this is the main commerce road for getting from one side of the Rockies to the other, basically.
It's no bueno. It's no bueno. Bing bong. So we got another $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Miss Will I Ams. Many things are regulated in the U.S. that don't happen, like drivers with 2 different sets of logs, ELDs. Say it ain't true. Say it ain't true. There are ways around everything. They may mention, not go into depth. Yeah, and I see what you're saying too. I mean, they'll be able to pass something, or how they pass a certain test, right? Or they'll know there's probably ways that they can finagle things to make things work out in their favor, if you know what I mean, as far as getting certification or not getting you know what I mean, getting certified in certain things. But I mean, but that's all hearsay, I guess, right? There are stories out there, you know. I've heard people who are past their driver's test, and you see them drive, and you're like, but how? Real talk, just regular driving, just regular driving in a car, and they pass for some weird reason. Worst drivers in the freaking world, but for some odd reason they still passed, because the guy just said, "Nah, I'll just let you pass. You passed. Good job." You know, I've seen those stories. I've heard those stories. I've never seen it, but I've heard those stories, right? And there's always somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that can hook you up, right? And say, oh yeah, you did what you did, right? you did what you did, you passed. It's cool. Just figure this part out and you're good to go. Here you are, you got your CDL, right? So that is true. So Zozo Bob asked, when was he sentenced? He was sentenced. He was actually sentenced last week. So this is become. Sorry,
I said that's what really made the story breaking again. Yes. Was that the sentencing finally dropped?
The sentencing finally dropped last week. This is the reason why this is such a big story now, because of how long he was sentenced for. Because I guarantee you, if they said, what? I don't know what would be a feasible or a justified sentencing, but let's just say they said 20 years. Let's just say that, right? 5 years for every single last person that was killed, right? Every last victim that died, right? Every innocent life that was taken in this car crash or in this truck annihilation. I mean, shoot, you've seen it. We all saw it. Like, how does anyone survive that? But let's say 5 years for every single person. It probably wouldn't have gotten any headlines like this. Most definitely. There would not be truckers lying outside of the state of Colorado saying no trucks to Colorado, shutting off the move, right, of goods, right, to the other half of the country, whichever way they're going, right? They're not going into Colorado. Period. That's some serious stuff, right? So now that's messing with the country because they believe that this young man got a sentence that was way too much. That was extremely excessive. And I agree with their frustrations. The boycott, though, messes up everything else that goes on within this whole country, right? Like I said, there's still those truckers are driving everything. And we are already having problems with goods, produce, you name it. There's a shortage of all kinds of stuff. You walk into a Walmart right now and you notice, like, for example, dog food is at an all-time low right now. I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's low. Dog food is becoming a scarcity because of everything that happened with the ships on the side, on the shore and all that, right? Now we're finally getting truckers to move things, and now they're not going to go through Colorado. Either these truckers are going to have to find a way to get around, or they're actually just going to say F this and they're going to be a scab and just drive through and say F it. I need to make my money. I got these timetables. I got to deliver these things. So it's very interesting, right? Mm-hmm. So like I said, you order anything from Amazon, it might take a minute, depending on where it's coming from, right? Because if they ain't going into Colorado, like that TikToker said, bing bong, not happening. It's not happening. Insane, right?
Yeah.
Insane. But I understand it. They're doing this out of solidarity, and hopefully, as Davis said, hopefully the man that makes that decision goes and says, all right, we need to reduce this sentence. This is way too harsh. Like I said, 110 years, bruh. Come on. 110? Like I said, I've seen people out here that actually physically killed people with their own hands, and they walked out in 20 to 30. And they're writing books and telling stories about this ish. Shoot. Seen people who actually organized a hit on a person, a successful hit on people, and they only see 25 to 30, still were able to walk out, get interviewed by Barbara Walters and tell their stories, write books about it and turn them into movies and stuff. And this man had an accident. Bad choices, probably was poorly trained, and he's getting 110 years. Oh, yeah. Zephyrus, yeah, you're right. And there is OJ, too, who actually just got his parole. His parole has ended. So now he is a full-on free man. The juice is loose, as they've been saying. The juice is loose. And he actually killed some people. I'm sorry. He did it. I mean, 30 some odd years later, we could talk about it, right? The dude did it. We all know this. But now he's a free man. Just saying. Bing bong. So moving on, we're going to talk about a few lighter things here really quick. One thing, I'm in a documentary, guys. This is some random stuff. Well, before we segue, because we just got another super chat, let me throw that in here real. DMV Nation, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. If it was snowing, truck lost control and killed somebody. The driver may lose his CDL, but no jail time. They would just chalk it up to bad weather. Absolutely. Unfortunately, there was not one drop of snow on the ground. Dry, like the roads were bone dry. This happened in late April. It's a crappy situation. Like I said, he should be sentenced for sure. He should take responsibility for what he did. Absolutely. But it's just too long. Way too long. But moving on. Here's the thing. There is a Gabby Petito documentary that has just come out. It is right now on Peacock. If you don't know what Peacock is basically like NBC's version of a streaming app. All right. And I'm in it. Actually, Dave is in it just for like 2 seconds as well. But had a really great time being a part of it. They used a lot of my color commentary throughout the entire documentary. Like basically the last half of the documentary is when they just sprinkled a lot of yours truly in it. Of course, in the documentary, there's a lot of things that there isn't anything really that new that they say in it that we haven't covered and all that, but I think it's a really good recap if you're interested in just seeing some pieces that you may have forgotten or pieces that you didn't know about, like the relationship and the dynamics between Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito and their families and what the dynamics were between them inside those families. It's very, very interesting. But obviously, if you've been watching, we're watching those lives with me, then you pretty much got everything. It's pretty much the same old ish. Okay. But like I said, it is out there right now as we speak. It is called the Gabby Petito documentary, or the Gabby Petito murder, truth, lies, and social media. And of course, that's when social media, I'm a part of that, obviously. And they use not only just myself, a bunch of other YouTubers as well were involved in it, and were sprinkled throughout the whole thing as well. But I guess they happen to like my color commentary because I was in there a lot with a lot of colorful commentary. So check it out if you can. It is on right now on Peacock. I think there's a bootleg version of it on YouTube as well right now. So just type in that and I'm sure you'll be able to find it and enjoy it. Have a good time. And if you do see it, take a screenshot or something like that and share it with me if you see my face in there. Because like I said, I'm surprisingly I'm in there a lot. So yeah, it was dope. And it's cool because you never know. Hard work does pay off, and you never know who's actually watching your stuff. And this is a company out in the UK that had, I guess, stumbled upon my lives, and they just they liked my demeanor. They liked how I was delivering the news, and about the Gabby Petito case, and they were like, "Yeah, we'd like to have some of your commentary on this in our documentary," and then just And then there you go. You know, as somebody was saying, and Bob's your uncle. So there it is. Why is Bob's your uncle a phrase?
I have no idea.
Never mind. See, this is me going off the beaten paths of stuff. Anyway, so please check it out. It was pretty dope. I didn't get a chance to do any pop-up videos this past weekend to talk about it. It's like I said, it's been a busy weekend. Holy cow. But I'm very excited about it. Michael Thomas, thank you so much. Michael Thomas said, "You the man. You're the man for real." Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, it's this channel is the little channel that will, I guess, not the little channel that could, but that will. And I'm excited. It was really, really cool. It made me feel like 2022 is going to be dope as hell. You know, we're gonna turn some heads in a very positive way, as far as this channel and what we're putting together for this channel. So, just wanted to say that really quick. Okay, I appreciate all y'all for the love and support. So go and check that out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I appreciate it. But anyway, moving on. Okay. We still got some other lighter stuff to talk about, which we will get to here in a second. But we do most definitely got to talk about, oh boy, we got to talk about Kim Potter. I really didn't want to talk about it. I was very on the fence. I even put out a poll in the community, on the community page, basically saying, should I talk about this? Should I not talk about this? But we are going to be talking about this because we just got to. I'm seeing very interesting mixed reviews about Kim Potter's testimony. We are going to get to it, but we got to get into this part first because this top of today, closing arguments begin in the trial of Kim Potter in the Daunte Wright's murder. Okay. Now, if you don't remember, Kim Potter is the woman, the female officer that mistakenly, let's just say this in quotations, mistakenly pulled out her gun, her revolver, instead of her taser during a routine traffic stop that just went totally haywire. All right. Now, during this whole testimony, she admits that they pulled him over because of an air freshener. No lie. She admits it. She straight up admits it, y'all. So I know there's a lot of people that were sitting there, oh, no, you lying, blah, blah, blah. No, she admits it. Sitting at the stand, sitting there and testifying, okay? In her own words, she said they pulled him over because of an air freshener that was hanging on his rear view mirror. No lie. Now, a few months ago, we covered the shooting. We talked about this whole case. We were all very like, what the heck about this? And people were sitting there going, nah, because she was not the only officer there. They didn't pull him over for that. No, she admits it live in Technicolor that they pulled him over because of an air freshener. And it's obviously a code word for they wanted to pull him over to see if he had other things going on. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's go into this article really, really quick. I need to find her testimony as well, which obviously this is a screenshot or still from her testimony, which is the big tell-all, and her testimony is very interesting as well. And when I say very interesting is because how the rest of the country has been responding, how they've been reacting to her testimony. Some people are sitting here going, oh, crocodile tears, Kyle Rittenhouse type ish. And some people are going, no, I feel for her. What she did was real. We're going to get into it. Let's go into this article really quick. Closing arguments are expected to start Monday, today, in the manslaughter trial of former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter, who tearfully apologized last week for killing Daunte Wright during a traffic stop. Defense attorneys for Potter, 49, rested their case Friday after the ex-Brooklyn Center cop charged with the April 11th death of Wright told jurors that she didn't want to hurt anybody when she used her gun instead of her taser, fatally shooting the black man who, as he tried to drive away. And he did. He tried to run. Just saying that so everybody knows. He definitely did try to run away. He really did. She says, "I'm so sorry." And of course, at times fighting to compose herself. "I'm sorry it happened. I didn't want to hurt anybody." Potter told jurors she didn't remember what she said during the stop as cops pulled Wright over for having expired license tags and an air freshener hanging from his rear view mirror. "We were struggling. We were trying to keep him from driving away. It just went chaotic," Potter testified. "I'm yelling, 'Taser, taser, taser,' and nothing happened. And then he told me I shot him." Now, there is body cam footage, another angle, showing the reaction that Kim Potter had, as soon as she realized she had shot Daunte Wright. And I'm telling you, it was wild. And it's very telling. She freaked the F out. She freaked out, y'all. She goes, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." Like she loses it. Now, when you see something like that, to me, it says she done mucked up. She made a very fatal mistake. I personally do not think, after seeing the body cam footage of her reaction, right? I really don't think she meant to actually shoot him. I think that she made a very stupid mistake, but she should be tried as she is, and she should be found. I think she should be found guilty. But at the same time, I don't think she did this on purpose. Okay? Now, when it comes to this testimony, it's very interesting. Because a lot of people are very obviously extremely unforgiving. And I don't blame them. I'm not sitting here going, "Oh, because it was a mistake, it's okay, you killed a guy." No, she still killed a guy. This woman killed a dude because of her own negligence. Because of her pulling out a gun instead of a taser. So, I'm going to show it to you guys, but David, go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts on this. But she says, "Oh my God." She yelled as another officer tried to console her, the footage shows. "Holy ish, I just shot him." Obviously, Potter, who resigned after the fatal shooting, has pled not guilty to first and second degree manslaughter. She faces up to 11 years in prison if convicted on both counts. So right now, today, the closing arguments start on this whole case. And maybe by the end of the week, we'll find out what the verdict is. David, what are your thoughts on this, bro?
Yeah, so this is one thing I want to clarify for some people in chat. She's not being charged for murder. It is only for first-degree manslaughter and second-degree manslaughter. So there's no possibility of them charging her for intentionally killing him. It's just not even in the charges for them to decide on. So it's only going to be first-degree or second-degree manslaughter charges, which do mostly come down to negligence. Specifically, the second-degree manslaughter charge alleges that she caused the death by her culpable negligence, meaning it's her fault, but she still made a mistake. So I think we're very I guess I'll get into the actual testimony. Not the testimony itself,
Yeah.
but
okay. I was going to say I'm about to show it right now. I got it queued up, ready to go. But continue.
Yeah. Specifically, that she is kind of acknowledging the entire incident is an interesting one. But mostly what gets me here is that she did not choose to invoke the fifth, which is common with these kinds of cases. It's pretty risky for her to take the stand in this case. You could argue, if you might have heard the same legal arguments when Rittenhouse took the stand, that it's incredibly risky for the the defendant to take the stand in any sort of case. It can go one way or the other. You never really know. It's going to depend on how the jury decides the performance was, if you want to call it a performance, even if it's, I mean, I don't think she's faking that she's sad about this, but it still depends on how they think she feels about it, I guess. And ultimately, it is a manslaughter charge, so they're not trying to decide if she did this intentionally. They're trying to decide if she is responsible for her negligence, basically. And it's not sure how her testimony is going to affect the trial. That's just one thing that law sites have been talking about, because anytime the defendant takes the stand, there's a huge risk of it just completely changing the trial despite what has come beforehand, specifically based on the emotional entanglement of the jury with the defendant.
See, and that's the thing that, okay, so that's the thing that really, okay, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. Let's play this video. This is a little bit of a longer clip, but it is, just look at her testimony, right? Just take a look.
Okay, Ms. Potter, on the screen we have Exhibit 13 at 2:01:48. I'm going to slowly advance the frames and then pause it periodically. So let's advance just a bit. Okay, stopping right there. At 2:01:48, do you see yourself here taking a piece of paper in your left hand?
Yes.
All right, now advancing to 2:01:49, please. Okay, now stopping at 2:01:49, you see that you've transferred that piece of paper to your right hand.
It looks like it.
You can advance a little further, please. Okay, would you agree that the piece of paper at 2:01:49 is in your right hand?
I don't know where it is.
Is this the piece of paper right here?
Let's see. Yeah, it's a piece of paper.
All right, let's advance a couple more frames, please. Okay, stopping right there. Would you agree in this frame of 2:01:49 that the piece of paper is in your right hand?
Yes.
All right, and if we could play stopping at 2:01:54, please.
We're going to continue, but you see that moment? It continues, but I'm just saying. Some people are sitting here going like, come on with these crocodile tears and trying to, get your Meryl Streep on. Okay? I don't know why, but I keep thinking if this turned into a movie or something like that, it'd be Meryl Streep. She just kind of has a Meryl Streep vibe to me. Okay? I don't know. I'm a nerd. But here it is. Full on putting on a Meryl Streep performance in here. That's what people are thinking. Let's continue.
Okay. And then if we could advance a few frames, please. At this point, the paper is in your right hand, correct?
It appears that way.
Oh, boy.
And then at 2:01:55, you can stop right there. You've just transferred the paper back to your left hand, correct?
That's what the video shows.
Okay.
I cannot confirm or deny.
We could advance a few more frames, please. To 2:01:56. A couple more frames, please. Okay, you'd agree at 2:01:56, the piece of paper is still in your left hand, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's advance a little. Actually, let's play until 2:02:01, please. Okay, so stopping at 2:02:01. You have the firearm in your right hand, correct? And you are pointing it directly at Mr. Wright, correct?
We have a break. My client is.
Okay. Miss Potter.
Perfect timing, right? Wouldn't you say? Perfect timing for the defense to be like, no, we need to take a break. We need to take a break. Can we take a break? Is it okay if we take a break? As she's reliving something that she did. Just saying. Just saying. She did. Now, I get it. This is something that she relives every single day right now as we speak, right? From the moment. She will relive this for the rest of her life, but at the same time, this is the reason why we are in trial right now, is because of this moment. And now you got the defense being like, oh, no, she's crying. She's crying right now. I don't know why he sounded like him. But John C. Reilly sounded like John C. Reilly up in this piece, but literally. She's being tried. She's being questioned right now, cross-examined, specifically because of this moment right here. So why pause? Because she's crying a little bit, allegedly. Some people don't think she was really crying. Some people think that she's putting on an act. You know, for a fact, she's already relived. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say she's already relived this a million times. So what's one more time? Let her finish the questioning. Let her be cross-examined so the jury can make their decision. But they use this as an opportunity. Oh, she's crying. So whoa. We can't have the defendant crying.
Powder, do you need to
give me a break?
Okay. It's much away. So, okay, members of the jury, we're going to break for lunch, and we'll start up again at 1:30. Okay.
Okay. So you see it. Some people are calling this crocodile tears. Do you think it's crocodile tears or not? Comment in the family chat, because I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Because, you know, this is the reason why I had that's a weird freeze frame on her. But I was conflicted. I was heavily conflicted on this one. Why? Why, you ask? Because a part of me does feel like, all right, what happened to her? What happened is terrible. You can see in the video, there's another angle, like I said, where she freaks the F out, right? Clearly, she knows she done mucked up. She made a devastating mistake and killed this young man. I get it. But right now, she's almost having like an emotion, like a mental breakdown. And some people are sitting here saying this mental breakdown is perfectly choreographed, perfectly placed, so that she can get a little bit more of a emotional appeal from the jury. Now, I'm going to like I said, I'm going to ask you guys again. Crocodile tears or no? Personally, I mean, this is not the greatest, most high definition cameras, you know, with where we can see the tears. Maybe she really is crying. Maybe there really is tears going down her face. I can't tell. But is this an act? Or is this woman really reliving it right there in front of us? David, thoughts?
Not sure, really. I couldn't really decide one way or the other watching her face if she's faking or not. Either way, it makes sense that she would be upset either way, even if she doesn't care about Devontae, because she has professed that she doesn't want to go to prison, as you might expect for anyone. No one wants to go to prison.
I mean, she did say she's not guilty. Let's keep her straight funky.
Yeah.
Clearly, she didn't want to go to prison because she said straight hot and fresh out the kitchen that she's not guilty. So if she was guilty and if she really did think that she deserved whatever sentence that was coming to her, this would have been an open and shut case because she would have already just said guilty, but she's not. So I'm sorry. I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, it could be. I don't really know, to be honest. I think it was probably a bad idea she went up there. I don't think ended up looking good for her. I will say that. So
Hey.
I think it will end up working against her one way or the other, but it's hard to say yet.
Let me throw a wrench into what you're saying here really quick. Kyle Rittenhouse. It was like that. And he walked free as a bird. I'm like a bird who want to fly away. Gone. He free. Now he's like the right-wing savior. Okay? The damn near almost gave him a freaking medal. Okay? Because he got free. Just saying. If it worked over there, could it work over here? Quite possibly, yes. I think. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that. I'm not sitting here saying that she's not remorseful. Like I said, there's the other angle, the aftermath of her actually going, oh my God, I just did this thing. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yes, I think she is remorseful for sure. And I think, yeah, there's her reliving this. I guarantee you, what if? It just popped in my head, baby. It just popped in my head. What if? Just what if the defense played this, said, put her on the stand, because they knew for a fact that she was going to act exactly like this, that she was going to react in this way. The defense probably said, no, this might be the best play we got, because it's going to show that she might be real. She clearly has some sort of visceral knee-jerk reaction to this whole situation. So why wouldn't they use this in their favor? To show, oh my God, she is like, she's unhinged because of this. She's so remorseful. She's so deep in her own self-regret, right? That she's a little off now because of what she did. She is so wrought. She's so overwrought with guilt. What if they use this as a card? This could be their ace up their sleeve. Flap. Full house, baby.
Maybe.
Think about it.
But feeling guilty doesn't necessarily change what she did or didn't do, because they're deciding if she was negligent, not if she intentionally did it. So I don't know. Maybe. I think it depends on the jury, as per usual. It's just, I mean, that's really what comes down to. A lot of it is how well her defense picked the lawyers compared to the prosecutor, to be real. It's hard to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know where this one's going, to be honest.
You feel me though, right? You
Yeah.
feels me, David. You never know. Yeah, Primal Fear. This could be their Richard Gere, okay? Without the gerbil up his ass. They could literally be like, hey, let's use this. Let's use this card. Clearly, every time we show this, she reacts this way. This is perfect. Remember Kyle Rittenhouse? He got free. He just had to cry a little bit. Sort of. Kind of. Just whatever he had to do. By any means necessary, he was going to do whatever he had to do. Had a full mental breakdown. He had a full emotional breakdown on the stand. What if it's the same thing? But this time, maybe it's real. She's for real, I think. Partially. Part of me just wants to be like, just throw her under the prison. But she made a mistake. But yes, it has to do with negligence. How do you make a mistake without being how do you make a mistake like that and not be negligence at the same damn time? Like, how do you do that, yo? Explain that to me. Because if there wasn't negligence, then it would be muerte. That would be murder. Not man. That would be homicide, not manslaughter. Right? So she should be found.
Homicide either way, it would be murder.
Well, that's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it, David. Damn it. Great to have you back.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so I'm looking at the first degree one now, because this is the one that I guess they're not really talking about as much. The second degree one is just that she was recklessly negligent. I guess that's the point, is that her negligence was dangerous. For first degree, it would be that the call that Wright's death became while she was committing a misdemeanor. So for the first degree manslaughter, it would be the reckless handling or use of a firearm so as to endanger the safety of another with such force and violence that death or great bodily harm to any person was reasonably foreseeable. So it could fall under that easily, because basically what that's just saying is that she did something stupid, and if anyone else did that stupid thing, it would probably cause a person to die. And basically what she did was shoot somebody at point blank range, which would cause somebody to die. So, I mean, there is a strong case for the first degree here, but they are mostly just talking about the second degree one, which is by her own culpable negligence, which it looks like, according to this, means that she took an unreasonable risk consciously, and that led to his death. So I don't know.
See that. This is the issue I have, right? Because it doesn't seem like, personally, it doesn't seem like, because of her reaction, unless she's just a sociopath, which I don't think she is. She did not realize that she had a gun in her hand, which still to this day, I'm still going, what the hell? How's that even possible? But the reaction that she has immediately after it's been done, right? After the deed is done, clearly to me shows that she didn't even know until after the fact. So there is negligence to a certain extent, unless she just started acting immediately, gut reaction of, she knew she pulled out the gun, pulled the trigger, and now she's trying to cry wolf, right? Like she's putting on the biggest con in the world, which I don't think is that complicated. I think that with negligence, she pulled out her gun instead of her taser. She pulled the trigger, killed this young man, suddenly realizing, oh crap, right after, oh crap, I just shot him. And now she's remorseful, of course, probably having many sleepless nights. But there's negligence there. So if anything, she's basically she better be found guilty if it's on negligence alone, unless they could sit here and show without a shadow of a doubt that she pulled she maliciously, premeditatively pulled that trigger, that she knew she was going to pull that gun out and shoot him. If she walks, like if she really is found not guilty for this stuff, then I don't even know what to say. Then I would sit here and go, her performance or the defense's play was beautifully choreographed. Seriously, they threw their ace out on the table. And their ace was her having that reaction. They would not have put her up there if she was calloused. I'm telling you right now, they wouldn't have. They would have said, no, she could sit right here. Her reactions and her crying and her having a full-on breakdown, I think they made that decision. I think that's their play. That was their play. Real quick, I can't pull this up on here, but Lateef, thank you so much. He's been a member for 5 months, so thank you so much for being a member. But he did make a comment here. The defense questioned this woman, and neither he or Potter say Dante's name or referred to him by his name. That's interesting. No love given, no F's to give. You know, and the thing is yeah, interesting.
It's true.
Maybe they didn't want to say anything because it was going to trigger her. Maybe they wanted to hold that out for prosecution, for the prosecutors to cross-examine her. And as soon as they started pulling out, saying his name, waterfalls. Could be. So they're like, no, we're not gonna mess with her. We're gonna have a very good, concise, questioning, and then we're gonna leave everything up to the prosecutors. Like I said, beautifully choreographed. Just saying. I will say this though, okay? Or I will add to this. again. I really do think that she did not mean to shoot him. Just from seeing the footage. At first, but still, okay. But still, I'm still on the side of you've been in the force for over a decade, right? I think she was in the force for 11 years. How in the 11 years of your entire life do you mistake a gun for a taser? How do you do that? Just saying. It's 11 years, y'all, that you've been in the force. You ain't a rookie. You ain't just fresh out of school, right? Out of the academy, and this is your first day on the job. You've been out here for 11 damn years. How do you make
26.
that mistake? 26, my bad. 26! Exactly. That makes it even worse.
Yeah.
You're just pouring Tabasco sauce in an open wound right now. Thank you, David. Thank you. 26 years. How do you do that? You see what I'm saying? How do you do that? Oh, I missed one, Laura. I'm gonna find it, Laura. I promise. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to miss your members chat. Hold on. But go ahead, David. I'm just saying, 26 years. You have 26 years on the force. I lost it. Laura, can you repost it? And I will make sure I'll say it as soon as you post it. Repost it for me because it got lost. Okay. I'm so sorry. But how do you make that happen? Okay. How do you make that? How do you mistake? You've always had it on the taser on the left and the gun on the right. How do you go right and then you think you have the taser? You see what I'm saying? But I do believe that she made a mistake. It was a very, very, very stupid ass, terrible mistake. And yes, she should be thrown in jail. I think she should be found guilty. But 26 years you've been on the force, you ain't never done. How does that happen, though? What the?
She does have a history of lesser accidents. Nothing so severe by any means. But if you look through her record, like I said, she was there for 24 years. For the most part, the commendations she got, and I mean, they're good ones. She saved mostly the two biggest ones are helping locate and save children after an Amber Alert. However, if you look at the, I guess, negative things that she's done, she has been reprimanded for missing training, though the subject of that training wasn't given, or she was verbally reprimanded 7 years later for missing another bit of training. And a supervisor has negatively wrote about her before, saying that she did not contact enough people to make sure that she was doing the right thing in her investigation. But she has a history. This is the one that strikes me as interesting. She has a history of vehicular accidents in 95, 96, and 98.
Wait, driving a squad car? Or just
yes,
her own?
At least for one of them's a squad car. She spun out a squad car on wet pavement and hit a curb, causing 4,000 damage to the car. There's another write-up in 95 that she was backing up and hit a car. And also that she had another accident where her lights were messed up and she hit a car. So she has a history of accidents. She doesn't have a history of, intentionally abusing people. She does have, those few good cases where she saved children and the like. But all of her negative things do pretty much come down to negligence and missing training. So that is interesting. And mostly the negligence comes from very bad driving repeatedly over a decade. 3 major accidents caused significant damage to the vehicles. And none of those were during criminal incidences. They were just driving. So there is a history of negligence, and there's a history of inappropriate, not taking training seriously. I think we can say.
It sounds like it, right? It sounds like it. It also sounds like whenever ish hits the fan, or whenever she's in the moment of something like pretty intense, right? In moments of chaos, right? She is not someone who is handling the situation the best way. So she has a history of making very serious mistakes when something happens, right? To me, it sounds like she has there's anxiety issues, right? That instead of it being someone being cool, calm, and collected and ready, at the helm for any chaos to happen, she's the one who is making, before the shooting of Dante, maybe smaller mistakes because she doesn't know how to handle her nerves, doesn't know how to handle herself during a crisis, when the job is all about having to deal with crises, right?
Mhm.
And she's obviously not doing that right. So then when this situation happens, ish hits the fan, and instead, when it's a very intense moment, instead of her actually pulling out the taser, she pulls out a gun, killing this young man because of the anxiety, because of she's not thinking. And when you're driving a car, a squad car, no less, you're not even knowing how to control your car. And those minor things, those little tiny bad choices that you make could be catastrophic. So this minor little thing the minor mistake that she made, which was wrong side of the body, turned into something deadly. You see what I'm saying? So instead of her anxiety, instead of her being able to find ways or get another damn job, right, a different line of work, she decides to become a cop, which is probably one of the worst things to do if you are still battling with serious anxiety issues. Because it could be that one thing, that one small little minute choice that you make that is the wrong choice that could kill somebody. And that's exactly what happened here with Kim Potter and Dante Wright. Without a shadow of a doubt. This man should still be alive. But because of her negligence and her poor choices in a moment of heightened tension, took this man's life. Like I said, they are right now doing today, they will be doing, or they're probably doing it right now, doing their closing arguments right now. And hopefully, by the end of this week, hopefully, we will have a verdict. And we will find out if this woman, Kim Potter, is guilty or not. To me, she guilty. Is she remorseful? Yes, I think so. But I also do think this man should still be here. He should be arrested for whatever he's done. But like I said, he should still be here. But they put that kind of force, power, whatever, with somebody who is supposed to be someone who can go towards the fire, right? Towards the chaos, cool, calm, and collected. And yet, after all those other mistakes that she's had, they never said, hey, let's bring her in. Let's sit her down. You know what? Actually, let's keep her at the desks. And actually, let me say this too. If I'm correct, she was on the desk. And then randomly she was taken off the desk. And then this happened. So I think they realized, okay, she can't handle very intense moments like this, like heightened situations, right? I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I couldn't get the exact date, but sometime just before 2000 or at 2000, she switched over to basically a desk job.
Man.
And it seems that this was one of her first incidences outside of that desk job for a while.
Right. And then all of a sudden she got off the desk and then this happened. Interesting, right? Thank you, Latif. Let me pull that up. Hold on. So all the way here. Boom. Thank you, Latif. And thank you, Laura Estrada, for the super chat members super chat. And she's been with us for a while as well. So thank you so much for your support, Laura Estrada and Latif. Thank you. Shout out to Latif holding it down. How can I show compassion for someone who did not show compassion to a young man she killed? Laura Estrada said in a members chat. Now, I agree. How do I show compassion? I don't feel any compassion for this woman what she did is wrong. But I can sit here and know and see the human condition and see the emotions that are going through her body. And after you see the body cam footage of her actually going, oh my God, you know what? Let's look at it. Let's look at it. I think that's fair. Because we talk about it, but it maybe by you guys seeing it, you might go, yeah, okay. She made a mistake. But still, doesn't mean that I'm not sitting here having any compassion for her. I could just see that she regrets it as soon as it happens. Now, finding that, I need to find it. So I just need 2 seconds to be able to find this. Okay. That was beautifully fast. Okay. Hopefully this is the one. Hopefully. It's about 2.5 minutes long. Let's take a look at this. But I think when you see it, you're going to go, okay, you know what? All right. Okay. She seems regretful. Let's take a look.
I grabbed the wrong fucking gun! I shot him! Oh my God! Jim, sit down. Oh my God! I got it.
I think that's enough, right? This is right after she pulled the trigger, right? And then then Dante drove off because, obviously he was reacting. Car crashes a few yards away, right? And she's just tripping hard. Now, to me, it seems like she is fully embracing that she just killed someone. And that's some terrible stuff. I'll play a little bit more. I will play a little bit more, okay? But like I said,
Are you okay? Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe.
okay, that's enough. But you get the general idea. So when you see this, you hear this, you see her reaction. Obviously, she's freaking the F out. Now, I see Penny Saxton. Thank you so much for the comment. Some people will sit here and say this is fake. Maybe that she's straight up just doing this, reacting this way because she's just trying to save her own ass, right? Now, I don't think she's some sort of sociopath, but I don't know Kim Potter. But I do believe that this is her visceral knee-jerk reaction to shooting someone that she didn't feel deserved to be shot. And imagine this kind of, especially if you are already like, we don't know where she is, like the fragility of her own mental state, right? Before the shooting, right? Then all of a sudden shooting happens and she flips out, right? She's getting cross-examined in her testimony. I think that the defense knew how to play this card because it would tug at the heartstrings of the jury, showing how she's so off. So you see something like this. To me, I go, okay. I think she does feel bad for what she has done. But that still does not make her walk free of these charges. She should be found guilty. And I think she, as David has pointed out, she has a history of making mistakes during heightened moments, to the point where we just talked about a second ago, where she was riding a desk for a while. And then all of a sudden, she's put back out on the field. And then this happens. So she already been making small, minor mistakes before, and they're like, we can't afford, I'm assuming, we can't afford to have you out in the streets now because of your mistakes during these situations. You're not leaning on the training. You're not leaning on what you've learned. You're making very stupid mistakes, minor mistakes that are turning into expensive situations. Now, I don't know why they decided to take her, put her back out in the streets, back on the road, back on the beat, but she's out there. And then what happens again? What? Another time where her negligence, her lack of being able to lean on the training and remembering that her taser's on her left-hand side, she pulls out her gun. Now, the police department needs to be looked into as well. Why would you let this woman be out here? This officer, forget it. If this was a man or a woman, why would you let an officer out there if they're known to not lean on their training properly, not lean on what they know, lean on procedures and lean on policy? Why would you let that person go back out on the streets? So that even the department needs to be looked at and investigated heavily. But yes, I will be shocked if the jury does not come back with at least guilty on one of these charges, because she clearly was negligent. There is negligence without a shadow of a doubt during this whole situation. No, I do not think she intentionally wanted to take this man's life. It's a damn shame, y'all. It is a damn shame. And that's the thing. 26 years and you still... It's like having a surgeon leave a utensil, right? You leaving a little piece of equipment in your body. It's like, how does that happen? You know, how do you know that you have somebody's life in your hands? How would you, if you're not following procedure, how do you even have that job? Right? Still just blows my mind. Still blows my mind. But I think that it wasn't fake, but I think the defense used this in their favor. They used this as a card because apparently it worked for Rittenhouse. And I know there's some other people that feel some type of way about the Rittenhouse thing, but they used that Rittenhouse thing and it worked. It definitely worked. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're sitting there going, we need to do the same damn thing right here, right now. Put her on the stand. So there it is. It's crazy. But we should be hearing a verdict. Maybe we'll hear a verdict Friday. Maybe. And if we do, we'll be talking about it right here on the Pascal Show. Okay. So don't forget to hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We still got some more news to go to. We're getting into it. These are two very light but fun ones. Yes. So subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share the show. Por favore. Okay. Got a big interview with the private investigator that is working on the unsolved murder of Kendrick Johnson, live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you don't want to miss that one. He's coming in with all kinds of crazy new information, things that have been basically hidden for a while. That's going to be on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I can't wait to chop it up with him because he's got some things to talk about. Moving on. Just had to put in that shameless plug so you guys know and let other people know too. Okay. So anyway, we got to go into this next story. Jake Paul this past weekend had a fight with Tyron Woodley, and he knocked Tyron Woodley out. Knocked him into next Tuesday, man. I can't say that, can I? Because that's knocked the black off of him. I can say it. David can't. And Jake really can't say that, but I can. I can't. Let's look at this video. It's quick. In the 6th round, I'm telling you, Jake Paul just sends him. Sends him. It's bad. It's really, really bad. We're just going to look at this quick. Oops. We're going to look at this quick clip. Where'd it go? Right here. And when I say, oof, boy, oh boy, here we go.
Has done it from time to time. Just
who put in that sound effect? Anyway, knocked him the F out. Look at him. He gone. In the arms of an angel. Gone. I'm sorry. He got the he got the Ferguson knocked out of him. Yeah, it's true. Now, here's the thing. Man, I need to put him back on his feet. Like, I can't do my like that. Okay. Tyron is a friend of mine. Okay. Tyron is a good friend of mine. All right. This is my dude. All right. And yeah, it was the Taco Bell sound. It was the Taco
It was, wasn't it?
I was like, wait, why do I suddenly want to chalupa?
Oh, man.
Why am I suddenly hungry? Damn. But anyway, straight up, this is a good dude. Okay. Good dude. Great fighter. He is. Now, in his defense, Jake Paul was supposed to fight a Fury, Tommy Fury, if I'm correct. All right. Tommy Fury out of nowhere backed out. Last minute. Backed out. So Tyron was like, yo, I'm with it. I'm with it, bruh. Let's go. Let's go one more time. Right? So Jake Paul or Paul versus Woodley part 2. Part dos. Because they did one last time, a couple months before. Tyron lost. And it was all on points and stuff. But they had big hits. They were knocking each other hard, all that stuff. Big punches, all that stuff. Some people would argue that it was Tyron that won that fight and not Jake Paul, so on and so forth. But anyway, Jake knocks him the F out, y'all. Gone. Now, here's the thing. Some people are sitting here speculating that this was rigged. Because apparently Jake Paul was giving Tyron hand signals. Hand signals, y'all. Hand signals. I don't know if it's all in this video, in this clip. And I can't really show a whole lot of this because of, copyright stuff. But real talk. Knocks him the F out. Look at this one more time. And see, now I want a burrito. Damn. All right.
has done it from time.
Okay. So they're showing it, he kind of twists his right hand, his right glove. He kind of twists, and they're saying, "Oh, this is him saying, I'm about to knock you the F out. So you're gonna take this." Real talk. I don't think that this is rigged, but okay. Take a look at Jake Paul's right hand. Okay.
Has done it.
Twist. You see the twist? And then bang. Gone. Bing bong. Just bing bong. Gone. And he just flattens. This is worse than Nate Robinson. This is worse than the Nate Robinson fight. Okay. And I love fighting. I love boxing. All right. And I love UFC. So I had to show you guys this just a little bit. Okay. But the Taco Bell, the Taco Bell sound effect is killing me. But literally, like flawless victory. Okay. He finished him. Okay. For all you Mortal Kombat fans. But they say he twists he did his little twist in twists his wrist and then bang. You know what I mean? Okay, I can't play it over and over again, but one more time because the bong is killing me. Twist and then, but it's so fast. I don't think that it's fake. I don't think that it's rigged. I think Jake Paul had an open shot and he took it. That's what I think. I think Jake Paul literally knocked this dude the F out. And here's the thing, because I didn't watch this. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but when I found out, I was floored because Tyron's my boy. I have mad respect for Tyron. He's a talented fighter. Let me put him back on his feet again. I'm sorry. I can't do that to my boy. But Jake Paul is showing some stuff, man. He got some fists on him. I'll be real. Now, he hasn't fought a real boxer, though. So I'm waiting for that to actually happen. An actual boxer, not just some guys out here that just want to be like, whatever. Like Tyron is a great striker, but he's not a boxer. He's a mixed martial artist. He's a UFC fighter. So
wasn't he in one of the kickboxer movies too with Van Damme, like one of the later ones? I think so. He looks familiar.
Tyron Woodley?
I think so. Maybe not.
Nah.
I don't think so.
Nah.
Right.
Nah. Was Jean-Claude Van Damme for real?
I think Jean-Claude was in that one. There's a lot of kickboxer movies. I don't remember them all.
Maybe then. But with Jean-Claude, nah. There's only
like
one
8 of them.
Yeah, there's only.
Yeah.
I think there's only one kickboxer movie with Jean-Claude.
Oh, maybe so. I don't remember all of the ones.
Maybe it's Bloodsport, or I don't know. But anyway, no, I don't think there is a kickboxer movie with Jean-Claude. I'm wrong. Not Jean-Claude. But anyway, dude got knocked the F out. Okay, that's my boy. I was shocked. I was shocked. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till Monday, and we're going to talk about this live on the show. Some people are sitting here still saying that this was rigged. I don't think it was rigged. I don't. I think Paul got very lucky. I think Paul got lucky. Because here's the thing. He did this, and then he just put his... It just happened so fast. I don't think that it would have happened like that if it was a choreographed decision. This was in the 6th round, too. This wasn't right off the top. 6th round. Like I said, this is worse than Nate Robinson, I think, because he just folds over in half. He folds in half and then on the floor. Dead and gone, like gone. Okay. So there it is, guys. Craziness. But I'm still wanting to see the moment where Jake Paul, because right now, he feels like because right now he is undefeated, and right now he's feeling so proud of himself. I'm waiting for him to actually fight a real fighter, like a real boxer. Let's see him in a ring with a real boxer, and then we can really talk. You know what I'm saying? Put him in the ring with a real boxer, and then we'll talk. Period.
That's not like 20 years older than him.
Word. Who's already retired. Woodley is retired. And not Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson's gonna hold back because he's gonna want to make, because I saw Nur. Hi Nur. Hey Nur. How you doing, girl? But at the same time, no Nur. No. I know Mike Tyson's talking about fighting, I think, Logan. But on some real stuff, no, he's gonna be nice to him. It's all gonna be just for money and have a good time, make a whole bunch of bags, and that's it. No. Give me a real fighter that's hungry and wants to take him the F out. And when that does happen, when an actual real fighter's in that ring with Jake Paul, and there's no nothing's rigged, he gonna be gone. That dude gonna send him out of the ring. That's what I think. I don't think he's ready to fight a real fighter. Personally.
Yeah. I think that knockout was real for sure. I don't know if they were passing signals beforehand, but that knockout was real for sure.
Yeah, because there's no words that were said, right? No words were said. It's not like Jake Paul said, I'm going to knock you out right now. He didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? You ready? You know what I mean? He didn't say that. It was just like a little twist. That shit happens. They do that shit all the time. You never know. That could have been his way of being like, yo, about to knock you out. Like, or I'm about to jab you or something, anything. But I don't think it's fake. Like I said, I think he got really, really lucky, y'all. Really, really lucky. Okay. Speaking of some random stuff, speaking of luck, we got to jump into this something very, very mother-loving random. It is the weirdest thing I have ever heard. Something a little light to end the show, to wrap up the show, but I think you guys are going to enjoy this. Okay? I think you guys are. Maybe not. It's quite the stinker. So, 90 Day Fiancé Stephanie Matto has made over $100,000 selling her farts in jars. But now she's saying it's taking a toll on her. She might be getting hernias from just trying to, you know what I mean? The squeeze, you know what I mean? Try to squeeze every time. Maybe she's eating way too many beans and it's messing up her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe she's drinking too much like milk and jalapenos and just cheese. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to mix it all up so she's getting them bubbles. You never know. But real talk, she might be getting hernias for trying to squeeze them out. Okay, but here it is. Stephanie Matto says she's earning 6 figures just from farting into jars. But all that gas is taking a bit of a toll on her health, both mentally and physically. Okay, sweetheart, then why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? What person? Explain this to me, y'all. What person wants to smell some woman's fart? Or farts, plural. Somebody out here is spending $100,000 on clear jars filled with flatulence. Do you understand this? Yeah, lots of beans and broccoli. Didn't
they buy a few jars of farts on
broccoli grown by Barack Obama? Broccoli. Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, David?
Didn't H3 buy a few jars of farts or something to review? I don't remember.
Come on, man. Come on. Okay, so here it is. If you thought buying NFTs was weird, the 90 Day Fiancé star tells TMZ, the article that we're reading right now, she's already banked about $100,000 from selling her jarred farts to fans. But her process almost put the artist, I'm sorry, they just called her an artist, in the hospital. So this is an art. This is the
fartist.
The fartist. Yes, the fartist. Excuse me, I'm in my creative process. Come hither with thy clear jar as I flatulate into it. Yes! Close it quickly. That is art. That is Mozart. That is Van Gogh. That is Monet in that jar. Anyway, moving on. I'm sorry. The fartist. I'm so done with this world. I am done with this world. Okay. Stephanie tells TMZ she usually sets aside 2 or 3 days a week to work on her hustle, eating foods typically associated with being gassy, like beans or fiber bars. Here she is, right? Oh my God. Day in the life of a girl who sells her farts in a jar. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna.
Hey guys, today I'm gonna be showing you a day in the life of a girl who sells her farts in a jar. So I like to get things rolling with some beans, a protein muffin, sometimes even a yogurt. Less sugar is better. Some hard-boiled eggs. And today I decided I was gonna make myself a protein shake with some yogurt added to it. And oh, I was feeling.
Notice how loose that is down there. Sorry, is she really that? She's filled with gas already. She's like, I'm ready to blow, y'all. I am ready to blow. Do you understand? Look at this. Are you serious? She is explaining to everyone, this is what I do with my day. I sell farts for fun. I sell farts for fun. Okay, she is the Scarface of farts. That's it. I fart for fun. What do you do? I fart for fun. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't with this. Go ahead, David.
I'm just like wondering how she traps these farts because I feel like she needs some sort of like alchemy setup or something. Like she's got to have like a running tube down there or something, or like
what is
maybe she's like like tied up to a. I guess you could use like a inverted baby bottle because that would trap gas.
Have
Use
you
a
tried
tube into
this,
that.
David? You sound like you've tried this, David.
Yeah, I've done a lot of chemistry though.
You've done a lot of okay, meth. No, I'm kidding. So let's
not that one.
You're like, well, wait, no, not that one though. Let's check out the rest of this. Real talk.
Feeling it for sure. While I wait for those farts to develop, I like to read. I'm very smart, love to read. And then after I'm ready to go, I go ahead and, do my work.
So she just give us the look like, yeah, I need a fart. Like you sit.
Do my job. I don't need to show you that, guys, but I like to add in little flower petals. I feel like they attach the scent and make it last long.
Flower petals? So you. Isn't that the antithesis of what a fart? I mean, allegedly, Outkast did say roses really smell like poo, poo, poo. But at the same time, like, she's literally taking that whole thing literally. So this
longer, and when I'm finally finished with my jar, I like to leave a personalized note. I want to thank you so much to the 97 people who've already purchased their jar of farts.
I wonder if it's just drawing some middle fingers that she puts in these jars. You know what I'm saying? They're just smelling it and going, oh, yes. F you too. I'm dirty. I'm a terrible human being. You know what I'm saying? Tell me to go F myself. Yes. 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 You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fucked up.
This may interest you to know, though. That,
really? You got some other side notes. What are you going to tell us? You bought
there's this chemical called indole, which is in your poo, and it's what makes it smell that way. And they actually do add it to perfume and chocolate so that people like the smell. I'm not joking. It's called indole, Indole. You can look it up. It's added. It's in flowers too, I think. So that's where the flowers smell like poo comes from. They do smell like poo to me.
I mean, they got a vibe. You know what I mean? Yeah. They got a little bit of a vibe, a little bit.
But it's in most of your perfumes for women. They also use urine a lot to get that musky, natural smell.
That musk. Okay, that's just unbelievable.
I just wanted everybody to know they already got that on their body. So
thank you so much. That makes me feel so much better. So much better. So while it sounds like easy money, Stephanie says she recently ate way too many fiber bars, and it nearly sent her to the emergency room. Yeah, because she wanted to make more money. I mean, like I'm saying, like, what if you worried about a little squirt? You know what I mean? Like a little Hershey squirt. You know, sometimes you got to, I'm sure, you know how it is. You know, when you're backed up and you're trying to, you feel me? Sometimes flatulence doesn't come easy. Okay? Farting ain't easy sometimes, y'all. And sometimes, you know, especially if you're farting that much, like how often are you fart? She said 2 to 3 times a week that she's doing this and capturing these into containers filled with rose petals and notes. I just can't anymore. I just can't. So no rest for the flatulent though, although fans keep clamoring for product. Stephanie says she's only going to keep her biz going as long as she feels up to it and as long as the checks keep coming. So in other words, she's going to be doing this forever.
I'm pretty sure there's no fart left in those by the time they get there, but I don't know. I don't know how trapping farts works, but
right.
It works like normal gases. I don't think it's going to be in there by the time they get it.
What's really interesting about this combo is she's straight-faced the whole time, even while explaining why she puts a flower petal inside each jar. Serious stuff. She also tells TMZ exactly how she ended up going down this road. And we got to say, she's got a head for business and a colon to match, apparently. Rah, rah, rah. So here it is, guys. What makes somebody want to suddenly say, oh, I'm going to fart in jars, and people are going to want to buy them? Now, I know that there's some really interesting individuals out here in the world, right? There's plenty of really interesting dudes who'll be like, girl, I'll drink your bath water. I've seen that. I'll sop you up with a biscuit. I've seen all that stuff all day long. But those are just phrases, right? Somebody out here or somebodies that are willing to spend 6 figures have decided, I want to smell her farts. And that gets me going. This is insane. So, guys, fellas, if you're trying to think of something nice for Christmas, hit up Stephanie. You never know. Your friend might enjoy it. Apparently, people like to smell other people's farts. That's insane.
I've been getting requests for farting videos and fart-scented underwear, jars of farts for many months now, ever since I launched my new platform, Unfiltered, which is a not safe for work friendly subscription site. I've just been getting tons and tons of messages from my longtime fans, my most devoted fans, and pretty much they've told me that if I choose to sell this stuff, they're going to buy it, and that there's no price that they won't pay. So out of just sheer curiosity to see if they were being serious, I decided to release it.
She did release it just into jars, but continue.
And as luck would have it, I sold out.
How much longer do you think you're going to keep this up?
Jeez.
Honestly, it has taken a little bit of a toll on my body, because there was one day that I ate so many Fiber One bars that I thought I was going to go to the emergency room. So I've had to kind of slow down, and I just have to listen to my body and make sure that I'm not like doing things that are bad for my bowels and my colon.
Okay, so that's enough for me. But let me say this, guys. Have we as a society gone down to this level where young women will have to are going out of their way to secure a bag by turning a business of flatulence into a 6-figure? Like, are we really into this? Are we in this world? Like, we clearly are in this world, but like, look at this. I mean, yes, it's funny. It's hilarious. But people are actually out here willing to buy her farts. Someone in this world had to go over to her and say, hey, I would smell your farts. I would pay to smell your farts. Somebody out here said that to her, then made her come up with the idea of, I'm going to trap my farts in jars and I'm going to mail them to people that are paying for them. Now, the other question is, how much are these people buying? Like, how much are these jars? And how long do they last for? Is it just there for life? Is it just one whiff and it's done? You see what I'm saying?
What's her name again?
6 figures a year. Stephanie Matto. Matto. This woman is selling this thing. Now, think about the brain work from this woman, right? She, aside from any of it, she just turned this into a lucrative business, right? I'm not down for it. I'm not sitting here going, oh, keep farting, girl, do your thing. I mean, yes, yeah, do your thing. If it's working for you, you ain't hurting nobody, I think. I don't know who's buying this ish, but she's making 6 figures. Imagine that kind of brain power towards something that is productive, where she can make 6 figures, if not 7 figures, right? But we live in this world where it's like, oh, we got to do. People think that they can only go on strip naked for OnlyFans or fart in a jar to make money. Like, are we really there? Yes, it's funny. Laugh at it all day long. But if you really think about it, is that how far down this dark, messed up rabbit hole our society has gone to? Think about it. But David, have you looked it up?
Yeah, I couldn't find the price for the individual ones, but
Please.
she made $100,000 in about 3 months.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there going, why couldn't it have been like a line of, I don't know, workout gear or something? You know what I'm saying? Farts? And she's the only one producing these farts. I'm sorry to say it like that, but she's the only one producing said flatulence. That's it. She doesn't have a team of females doing this for her. Yes, sure, it's smart, and to a certain extent. And I'm sure other girls are probably going to follow in her footsteps now, right? But she's somebody clearly is willing to do anything for a buck. That's sad.
All right. So the jars, the jars are $1,000 a fart, and she got the biggest $1,000 per jar, and she got most of the money during a brief 50% off sale where she sold them for $5,000 a jar. Or sorry, $500 a jar. That's right. That's $500 a jar. They normally go for $1,000, but she sold them 50% off for $500 a jar. Either way, it is way too much for a jar of farts.
Facts. And you don't know how many farts there are in that jar. Let's be real. It's probably just one squeak. It says, and then she just closes it up, seals it up, sends it on his merry little way. Okay, then the other part is this. What's very disturbing to me. Think about it, y'all. There's somebody out there that sat around and waited for the 50% off sale to go crack-a-lackin' so that they can buy her farts for $500 a pop. Think about that. They're like, for $1,000, nah, not so much. But as soon as she said, I got the half off deal going on, they're like, when does it happen? As soon as it went live, she made 6 figures. So a bunch of people were holding off, just sitting there waiting at the helm for her to go, I'm doing a huge holiday special, 50% off on all my jars. And she made 6 figures.
I guess farts are a 3-figure thing, not a 4-figure thing to pay for. Apparently. Do farts go up in price depending on who does it, I guess? I don't know.
It's got to be because of her. It's got to be her. If you really think about it. Somebody's multiple people out here. Because think about it. $500, right? How many people would have to buy it for it to be for it to turn into 6 figures? At $500 a pop. Yeah, I was going to say, you got the calculator. Just do it.
So she would have had to sold at least 200 jars of $500 a pop to get that $100,000. And that's the $100,000 is what she's put in the bank from this, according to her. It's not necessarily what she's earned.
Exactly. So she's going to hide some stuff. You feel me? Because the feds be watching. So she probably made maybe 50,000 over that price. Let's just be real. So you got 200 people out here in the world that wanted to smell this woman's farts. Now she said it in the interview. Oh, they've been asking me to do some fart videos, so on and so forth. My Lord, y'all. This is, I get it. Like, I get it that some people, this is how they get their rocks off and all that kind of stuff. I get it. But this is crazy. Penny Saxon said, Pascal, every time you do that tight fart sound, my tummy cramps. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah. So she's turned this into a little business. She's turned this into a business. Like, I get it. I've heard stories about people who will go into the panty business. They'll sell their panties, used panties, online and stuff like that. I've heard stories like that for sure. But this is another extreme, y'all. This is something else. but 200 individuals plus, 200 plus, went out of their way to buy her flatulence. Welcome to our society. Welcome to 2021, y'all. It's all mucked up. 2021 is one hell of a year, and it's only going to get weirder. Let's keep it real. It's only going to get weirder. But anyway, guys, that's the show. I appreciate all y'all for being on today. Really, it really does mean a lot. Be sure that's some real passive income. That's a good one, too. That's some real passive income. But anyway, Madeline, that's a good one. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on. David, thank you so much for being on, too. It's great to see your face again back in the game.
Weird show. I'm just going to leave it at that one.
That one was weird. That story was weird. But, I was just kind of like, I don't want to end on police brutality. You know what I mean? Or, let's leave on a little bit lighter note, right?
Yeah.
Or, on a brown note. But anyway, thank you guys for being on. Of course, do not forget to hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. It'd be really great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. It's never a dull moment over here. Real talk. But anyway, there might be a pop-up video or two that I might be doing later on today. So be on the lookout for those. And anyway, appreciate all you guys. You guys are all amazing. Thank you guys so much for being on and being a part of our discussion today. All right. It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And we'll see you guys very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this. And if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur